The last project that we're going to highlight here is our state assessments. The state assessments, you're given 3 workbooks. One is specific to ELPA 21, Iowa Achievement Matrix, and Iowa Achievement Analysis. Now this data is all summative data, but it helps you get a little bit more diagnostic. So I clicked on ELPA 21, and usually I always default to the first one. And again, it pulls up both of those workbooks. At the top, I'm going to look at the building dashboard. It's important to note that in this visualization, you also have filters. So this is showing me performance level of the test, and this is district-wide. I could look at this by building. I could look at it by a certain level if I wanted to. I could look at it by intensive or satellite. The performance level is at a 4, so it's an average. And it's also giving me the percent proficient. So were they proficient or not? The 4 is deemed as proficient. When I hover over it, it should give me an in count, and most of the visualizations will do that. So just by hovering over them, you can see the number of students that were tested. For this particular workbook, in order to get back, I can just click on workbook. It's going to take me back to where that workbook's housed because it's specific to that state assessment. But if I want to get back to that larger project, I could click that link. The Iowa Achievement Matrix, many of you are familiar with. When you click on this, it's going to break it down by your level. You could click on your level and select your specific school and look at it by math, science, or reading, or together and over multiple years. To get out of this workbook, I'm going to click back to that quick link that takes me to that specific project because I want to get into the Iowa analysis. Again, this is summative data, but this is housed in a different place just because you can get a little bit more diagnostic. The first workbook here is going to just show you school to student. It's defaulting over here. I always need to look to reading, but I could select math at any time. It's also defaulting to elementary, but if I wanted to pick intermediate, I can. And it's going to show my intermediates. So this is just showing the number of students proficient. Again, hovering over it, I can see how many students that is. You can also then, another workbook to look at within this project is percentage of students making 1 year's growth. I like this particular one because it's going to always show me what the district average is. So it's a nice quick comparison to see how students are progressing with making that year's growth in comparison to the district. So you don't have to go back to DSAT summative for this. It's all housed right here. And then this is an important visualization if you are looking at your subgroups. So in order to do this, you want to pick your primary row and your secondary row, Primary row is set to district, but at any time I could click on that by building. And I could choose my secondary as ethnicity, as IEP. Again, I need to be cognizant of the fact that I've selected just one specific area of math. What's nice about this, it's giving you your overall district proficiency, and this one isn't showing it just by ethnicity, but if you wanted to do it that way, you could go back to the district to get your comparison. So you can see here's overall, but here it is as a district when we're looking at math proficiency, and we can break that down by ethnicity. If you hover over, you're going to get the in count. So you can see here, this is only 5 students at the intermediate level that were tested for American Indian. Compared that to Asian, which is 34, or African American, which is 209 students. So that's always a nice comparison that you can get. It gives you the in count for the students proficient, but then out of the total number of records. A quick way just to get back is to go to workbook. Then I always go back to projects because that's where everything is housed.